About the Balls podcast
with Mark Davis, Chris Meinhardt, Luke Rule, Jake Winnikine, Alan Tomasella, and Nick the Doc Skirkle. Good evening. Happy St. Patrick's Day, but guys, it's All About the Balls podcast. This is the official first group mock draft of this 2025 NFL season. And Chris, Luke, Jake, welcome aboard. Chris, we'll start with you, man. How excited are you? We're just a little over a month away from the NFL draft. Lots of excitement, I believe, coming this way.
Yeah, getting very close, getting a lot of very cool headlines. You know, the media's trying to grab something. But, I mean, spring practice for college football started. A lot of news coming out of that. So,
yeah, Colorado
Syracuse
wants to play Syracuse. Yeah, I saw that. What's the rumor, obviously? Luke, how are you doing, man? Ravens picking pretty late in the draft this year, 27. So how are you doing?
You mean this year? You mean every year? We picked it pretty late.
Yeah,
For the 25 and back. So like usual, not super excited for the draft, but yeah, I'm excited to watch it. Watch you guys all have your top 10 picks and be all upset. Top 15 for the Falcons. Finally got out of the top 10 for once.
Hey, Jake's on the top 10.
Niners are 11.
Yeah, put some respect on the Niners, dude.
Right.
Sorry,
Yeah.
11 pick.
fucking respect.
Jake's he's usually in my spot all the way in the back. But
Mm-hmm.
Jake's got some excitement this year. I mean, he gets a whatever guy falls out of the top 10, he gets first one. But no, I mean, nothing too crazy. Ravens doing the typical Ravens things in offseason so far. Re-signed a couple players and got a roll of vet wide receiver. So that's what we do.
Jake, how are you doing, man? As we're approaching a little over a month away. You're, like Luke said, you're not normally used to picking a spot in the last probably 5-6 years.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, there's not a clear-cut player that I've seen that Niners are.
Well, we know
so it's
how your
exciting.
insiders are anyways. You'll tell us the wrong pick.
Absolutely.
5 times.
So I mean, I don't know what Niners are going to do there at all. Like, I'm excited because I literally have no idea what they're after. Probably a
Your
corner.
insiders don't know either.
Nobody knows right now.
Yeah, they were.
And there's still rumors of trading Ayuk, and he has a big bonus April 1st. So if they're going to do it, it's going to be before April 1st. So
Hey, I don't know if you boys saw this. First time in the draft era that every team has their first round pick.
yeah,
First time ever. As of right now.
For now.
So
For now.
we'll see how the next month and how the draft actually goes.
I think everybody will have it up until the draft. Draft day, I think that's where it changes. Because there's no player that's really worth the first round draft pick out being like on the trade block.
there's not worth
No,
players in the draft worth the top pick.
That's also kind of true. It's just a bad draft class.
It's horrible. Horrible.
I mean, some great O-line, some great defensive line,
That's boring
it's-
though.
but it's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
like nothing, no big players that's like,
Mm-mm. Nobody that's coming in and literally changing the whole franchise right away. Like,
No,
it's just-
look, the mid rounds is where you're going to make your money in this draft.
yeah, for sure.
oh,
The
definitely.
day two is big day for drafting.
I mean, there's some
That's why
exciting players. Like, of course, I want to see Travis Hunter play. I want to see Shador play.
Oh yeah, see him play.
Cam Ward.
It's
mean,
because you
there's
want to
some
talk shit
exciting-
about him.
Yeah.
I mean, not talk shit. I mean, yeah, I talk shit about them, but I mean, I want to see how they play.
Hey,
True. I'm
talking
intrigued to
shit.
see I'm intrigued to see who drafts him and how they're gonna and how they do.
Yeah.
But
Hey, don't
I
talk
wouldn't
too
want
much
him
shit,
on
'cause
my roster.
I've seen some mocks where Shador Sanders falls to the Saints. Seen a couple.
I'd be sad about that one. Not gonna lie. We did meet with Cam Ward, and we had a good interview with Cam Ward, and Cam Ward even said that he would love to play for the Saints. So
I did see that he said he would love to play for the
Yeah.
Saints.
He ain't making it there
No, he's not. Unless
No,
they
no,
trade
no.
up.
unless you
no,
guys
we're not trading.
sell
We're not
your
trading.
future even more.
We're not trading.
Well, boys, are you guys ready or what? This is time.
I mean, we were ready.
Sorry.
We've
Hey,
been
ready.
chatting.
Wait on
I had, a,
Yeah.
I had a kid screaming in the background. I had to
We've been ready.
had to go give her
Father
a
of the
fucking
year, right
charger
there.
for a tablet.
Father of
Hey,
the year.
It's hard, it's hard being
You
single dad
just
sometimes.
lock your kid up in the bathroom while you're out here doing the show.
You should teach Doc how to be
Yeah,
a dad.
she's definitely. Whoa, I'm not gonna say he's a bad dad or anything. It's rough life sometimes. These kids, Chris, you know how it is, man.
How to
I feel like-
multitask.
I do feel like you and Doc have kids that have a hard sleep schedule, or
Oh,
just
yeah.
can't sleep. So I mean, like
We're
I said,
going
I'm
through it
not.
over here.
Yeah. I'm not going to judge Duncan too hard. But guys, let's get into it. Like I said, this is very simple. It's going to be what we would do, not what we think is going to happen, not what is like, all this stuff like that. Obviously, like we'll have that time for that later on in the year. But right now, it's
one of these.
Pretty much simple. It's going to be Jake will start at number 1, and then Chris will be number 2. I'll be number 3. Luke will be number 4, and it'll just keep rotating. So we each get 8 selections to knock this thing out and do a little explanation of why we like this, like the team needs, things like that. So I will be making the picks as we go. Couldn't do PFF. I guess if you're not a member, you can only do 1 per day. So I fucking accidentally saved it earlier, just practicing in the test run. Yep. So I got to use Pro Football and Sports Network. Sorry, Luke. I know PFF is your site, but
you gotta go subscribe.
They're verified.
I thought about subscribing, but I'm not going to. But Jake, start us off, man. The Tennessee Titans, no trades. What would you do if you were the general manager of the Tennessee Titans?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy for me. If
kill myself.
If there's no trades and Titans are picking number 1, we're going Cameron Ward. I mean, this is a no-brainer.
It's a joke, everybody.
They need a quarterback. Will Levis is not it. I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. They're going to take the best overall player, and to me, that's Cam Ward. Do I like Cam Ward? No. Let's not say Jake likes Cam Ward. No.
I mean, I think it's the right move. I mean, they feel like they've been in the offseason building for the quarterback, who it's going to be, and I just don't like. I mean, I agree. Will Levis isn't the guy.
No, he's not the guy.
Okay.
If we're good, Chris. Yeah, you're good.
I didn't know if you were going to announce the next team or what.
Oh, sorry. Well, I feel like the person that's announcing the pick.
You got to make the sound.
Oh, dude.
We're on the clock.
Well, that's if we do trades normally, man. Like that's it.
You got to do the on the clock sound.
We could test it out.
There it goes.
No, that's the pick is in sound.
That's the
pick is in. The pick is in.
Okay, the pick's in.
Okay, yeah, the pick's in. Okay, so for Cleveland, I mean, they could go a lot of places here. I mean, they definitely need a quarterback because right now, Super Bowl winning Kenny Pickett's the only healthy quarterback they have on the roster. Deshaun's not going to start the season. They met with Russ last week. Still no news out of there. Cousins, we don't know what the Falcons are doing on that side. I mean, Abdul Carter's very interesting to line up beside Garrett on that D line. But I mean, with Travis Hunter there, how generational he is, I'm going to save Allen here, and I'm going to go Travis Hunter. I just think the versatility he could bring offensively or defensively, wherever they want to go with him, and a playmaker for Kenny Pickett.
And it sounds like Cleveland might also be the team, Chris, that might allow him to be a dual style player until it doesn't work. If it does work, that's great. If not, it doesn't. And Luke, I think he did save Allen because I'm pretty sure you'd have taken him just to have shits and giggles right there for the Patriots.
Well, I mean, Travis Hunter's gone, so I mean that changes the board for me.
Yeah, well, yeah, but the Giants would have thought about Travis Hunter too. I mean, he's a freak here. He's a freak as in like this class at least. I know Jake all off season has been shitting on him. Luke in the last year of the college season was hyping him up. I don't know how Luke feels about the NFL style at least, but it would be interesting to see if he can do the duo positions.
But he's not going to do the duo in the NFL.
I think he goes to Patriots. He might. I don't think many other teams are going to let him do it.
Well, the Patriots, I feel like if he goes there, he's going to be receiver because they just got Davis and they already have Christian Gonzalez, so I think that's a receiver position at least, and maybe dabbles little sprinkles at a corner there and there.
I mean, with Cleveland, he's only going to have to play defense anyway, so
they might. Oh yes,
they
need all receivers too.
I know they only have Jerry Jeudy right now, so
they're never going to be on offense.
Well, with the Giants here, if I'm the general manager, I'm thinking about my job because Daboll and Joe Sheen, they're on. The seat's hot. Like we talk about coaches that are burning up, general managers that are burning up, and this duo they're on fire. And the only way to do that is to get a quarterback. I don't think Russell Wilson's your answer, Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers. They're not. So you have to bank on Shedeur Sanders. I'm not saying he's the guy like how Jake said about Cam Ward. Like I'm not in love with Shedeur Sanders, but to save my job, I have to do it. He's athletic. He has a good arm, not the strongest arm, but he's pretty accurate. He is athletic. Sometimes the O-line, I feel like they beat him up so much. He takes sacks. He doesn't know how to escape or escapes too often. But for this, you just have to trust the quarterback because this is your job. Like this is your career as a Giants front office staff, you have to go
So
quarterback.
you have Sanders saving his job?
I don't have him saving the job, but I have him. That's what I would do. You have to do something to save your job. Drafting Abdul Carter, drafting anything else is not going to save your job because you're just going to suck regardless. Like you're guaranteed to suck. At least with Shador, you're taking a chance on that quarterback, and they might be the future Bears where they go quarterback for the coach, and then the new coach comes in. It's the same thing, every single time. So I'm going to go Shador just because of that reason.
All right. So the pick is in for the New England Patriots. Cue it up. There we go.
I heard.
I'm going
There it is.
wide receiver out of Arizona, McMillan. He's 6'4", 220. Probably plays at 225. Big physical wide receiver. I think he's going to be the top weapon that Drake May needs. Patriots already invested heavily in the defense and O-line for Drake May. So, I mean, he just needs that top-tier wide receiver to kind of put them over the edge a little bit and get them in a competitive team. So I'm going the big wide receiver, top tier wide receiver out of the draft this year. Getting him a steal at number 4.
I'm still a little hesitant on that just because I feel like with the Patriots and Mike Vrabel, they want to build in the trenches. That's just what I would do. I feel like Will Campbell or Mimbu would be perfect for this team. You protect Drake May. Worry about receivers later on, because it's like the Joe Burrow effect. If you don't have a quarterback,
They've tried getting receivers already, and they failed.
Well, that's why I'm saying you build the O-line and let Drake May be able to stand on his 2 feet and actually throw the ball without getting hit. Because it's like Joe Burrow. You know, you guys are ripping the Bengals for getting T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
Well, the Patriots they signed a couple of linemen.
Old ass Morgan Moses isn't your answer.
He helps.
He
He won't
be there for Drake. He's not going to be there for Drake May's future though. Like that's just so that's what I'm saying.
1-2 year guy.
Yeah. It's a good pick though. I mean, if you're going to get him a weapon, great pick. I'm thinking blocking him more than
I think they can get solid O linemen later in this draft.
And they could. Depends on the board falls. Jake?
Oh, yes. Here we go. Jacksonville. Obviously, it's another team where they could need the whole board. But I had them at a steal here. If Abdul Carter falls to 5, I feel like that's a steal big time. He is my best player in the draft. I would take him higher than everyone has been taken already, for sure. I definitely have Jacksonville going to Abdul Carter. I mean, he was Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. He was 7th or 8th in sacks. I mean, this dude's an absolute stud. He plays all over the D line. I mean, I would take this dude 10 out of 10 times.
I mean, I agree. He's probably the best player in the draft, Chris, too. I mean,
if his foot's healthy.
Yeah. I mean, he played. Did he not miss a single game last year?
No,
he did. He missed a single. Did he?
I don't think it's no. He did play every game.
Oh yeah.
I don't think his foot's serious. I just think
he played.
It's not going to be a long-term effect.
I think he said he wasn't working out because of his shoulder or something, right? I don't even know if it was his ankle.
He hurt his shoulder in one of the last 2 games. I think he played the last game with a hurt shoulder. I think he hurt it in the championship game.
I think the foot injury though is still there too. I think he's got a couple different injuries, just kind of nagging.
Some people have him dropping to 4 or 5, but
it just depends on what these teams in the top 3 do with quarterback. I mean, do you get 2 quarterbacks? Do you get 1 quarterback? Does Shador fall? Cam Ward's going in the top 3. It's just does Shador Sanders fall? And then what does that do for Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, McMillan? I've seen rumors of him falling like out of the top 10. And I
could see Carter going 2 too, to be honest.
But it'd be nasty with Garrett, but instead of doing Garrett, you're pairing him up with Josh Allen Hines. So,
I mean, that'd be nasty with Garrett.
Yeah,
would be.
You have a
interesting
Hall of Famer and then a future stud. I mean, if he lives up to that potential, what Penn State pass rushers can be.
Exactly. Raiders on here. I mean, Raiders, they just need a handful of things. I mean, looking at it, I was looking for his name, Will Johnson. I mean, very interesting pick. The Raiders secondary, lowest PFF coverage grade since 2020. So, I mean, Will Johnson, really big pick, but I just don't think 6 is good enough. I think they could get a corner later in the draft. So I have Mason Graham. I think he's day 1 ready, run stopper, just big boy right there from Michigan. And
he's the guy that I've been seeing potentially going to the Jaguars if Carter's already off the board. I mean, I He's a big boy. I
big
mean,
boy.
these Michigan
He's a big boy.
defensive tackles are good. I mean, he's a freak.
Mhm.
He's probably one of the only good things in Michigan last year was Mason Graham.
Agreed.
Well, guys, the Aaron Glenn era starts here for the New York Jets, and obviously Justin Fields is who they signed for 2 years. Is he going to be the bridge? Is he going to be the starter if everything works out? We shall see. Could have gone different things. If McMillan was here, you could have gone him. You could go defensive line. They still could use the interior there. I'm going to go offensive tackle, but the question is, do you go right tackle Mimbu out of Missouri, or do you go Will Campbell and move him over to the right side? I believe Will Campbell is the best offensive tackle in football. That's your boy Chris from LSU. Go Tigers. I think his big body, the way he plays, the style he anchors pretty low. He can be beat a little bit at times, but I believe with Foshnu, he'll play left tackle. You move Will Campbell to right tackle, and then you're bolstering the offensive line for whoever the quarterback is going to be. And I think Will Campbell is a bona fide stud for the next 10 to 12 years, and hopefully the Jets hit on it, and they find the quarterback, and they start working that way. And like I said with the Patriots, same thing. Protect the quarterback of the future, and the rest will work its way out.
Yeah, I mean they have talent. They just don't have a quarterback for sure. But
Tackle is the only question really on the offensive line. The left guard, they did get, I think, Simpson from Baltimore, and then Tucker and Foshner and something like that. So it'll work itself. I think Campbell's a solid pick. I still think he's the best offensive line. I know Mimbu's climbing up, but I'm still high on Will Campbell.
All right, moving on to the Panthers. I think the biggest need for the Panthers is going to be an edge rusher going into this draft. They need that top tier guy that's going to be around for a long time instead of just getting these 1-2 year rental guys. So I got the Panthers going. Jalen Walker out of Georgia, 6'1", about 245. He can play outside linebacker or edge rusher. I think he's primarily edge rusher for the most part, but can do both. Versatile outside linebacker. So I like him going to the Panthers, try to get that top tier edge rusher for the future.
Yeah, they lost Brian Burns last year, Luke. I mean,
Yeah,
depends on what they're going to do. If they're going to play off ball or put him on the line and let him go.
He can do both. So I mean, very versatile. Second ranked linebacker going into the draft. I think he's a good pick at number 8.
Second ranked linebacker, but then the ability to play pass rush shoots him up a little higher, obviously. Could have been Heisman. He's two position athlete right there. Maybe Travis Hunter has some competition. Just saying.
Well, 2 positions on the same side of the ball. He doesn't count.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, do on both sides. On both sides of the ball.
Khalil Mack back on the Raiders actually was all pro for both linebacker and pass rusher. Same season.
Yeah, same side of the
but
ball.
you got to affect both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Got to have offensive.
Travis Hunter played 3 sides of the ball.
He got
Played
some teams,
special-
yeah.
he's played special teams.
He does. All right, Jake, you picking for Chris's team, the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I don't feel like I'm going with Jahdae Barron, but I don't feel like that's the Saints' biggest need. But I have him as my best corner, and the Saints usually have pretty decent corners. They don't have anything else good, but their corners are usually their bright spot. I mean, who do you got right now? You got Kool-Aid and Taylor, right?
Yep.
So I mean, it's not like a desperate need, but man, the way Barron plays, I mean, he's a ball hawk. I think it's a perfect fit there because, like I said, you guys usually have good corners. I mean, that dude had
He was a Jim Thorpe Award winner too. So
and he had 11 or 12 tackles in the Peach Bowl. I mean, the dude was all over the place.
he can play safety as well. So if you have to move him to safety, he can rover back over there as well.
I mean, they re-signed.
We have the LSU boys playing safety.
Mm.
I'm just saying, with Honey Badger, when he
LSU
eventually-
boys are LSU boys.
I'm just saying eventually, if he needs to.
Yeah, I mean, I love that for them. I don't think he would take Kool-Aid's spot, but I mean, Taylor's not terrible either. But
Was Kool-Aid good last year as a rookie?
He was decent.
Oh.
I mean,
Yeah, he
I
was
would
decent.
Taylor's better in the slot. So I mean, if we could get a outside boundary corner
Mhm.
and push Taylor back in the slot, that's why I would have liked to sign Paulson Adebo back. But
It'd be interesting too, Jake.
And money talks.
Barron would have to be guarding guys like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Drake London, McMillan had a good second half. You have Mooney, who's a big play kind of guy. I mean, the Panthers, we'll see if Leggett and all of them can be who they are, but it's a pretty good competition he's got to face for receiver wise.
Yeah. I mean, he played great. I mean, he's had a ton of pass blocks. I think he only had 5 or 6 interceptions, but
his instinct for the ball. I mean, it's not.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's all over the ball.
I saw him, I think, last year. One was in it was Ohio State or Arizona State. He got twisted on one play. He only got twisted on like a couple plays all year, it seemed like, based on what I was watching. I mean, he's a freak.
I agree.
Chris, Doc's team, the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, going to the Bears. I mean, Genty here would be the flashy pick right here because, I mean, you got Swift and Johnson. They're both kind of like complementary pieces. They really need that running back threat. But, I mean, look at Ben Johnson. Look at what Detroit did. They built their team to raise to the top of the NFC, building through the trenches. So I think they're going to go Banks here out of Texas. I know they got the center Dahlman. They also traded for Thuney and Jackson. But I think adding that extra depth piece, I think Banks can start day one also if you need them. I have Banks and Will Campbell like the top 2 offensive tackles in this draft right now.
And they were all year too. I mean, like based on like the awards that were going for and everything, it was Campbell. I was bigger on Campbell. I thought Banks towards the end of the year kind of got a little sloppy. He's not getting hate for it, but yeah, Chris, you bolstered the offensive line for the Bears, and then maybe they address running back. They have 2 second-round picks almost back to back. So,
and the running back draft's deep, like we've already said. So I mean, you can get a stud running back.
Yeah, 3 running backs in the first round. That's my bold take. I'm telling you, it's my bold take. I don't think it happens, but
we got 2.
Yeah, Jake was getting a little nervous after he was talking shit. He was sweating a little bit, it seemed like.
I'd hurry up and just draft one real quick to get one on.
One guy said Barron over Will Johnson. What's the reason? I mean, he said it. He believes that Barron is an all-around corner. Will Johnson, by the way, speaking of Will Johnson, he's my pick at the 49ers, Jake. So just after Barron 2 picks, I think that Will Johnson, yes, he had a little bit of bad tape in 2024. I think a lot of that was injury too.
Hey,
he's a little
quick,
over.
CJ wants you to scroll up.
Oh, sorry, CJ. Yeah. Well, while I'm talking, I'll scroll up and do this. But Will Johnson, Jake, I think he'd fit good with Robert Saleh, who you guys are bringing back. I think a really good instinct corner as well. He's got the size, he's got the agility, he's got the strength. He's not slim. He's got a good frame for his size and everything. Yeah, like I said, the injuries last year, I mean, it is what it is. But he was a great season in 2023 when they won the national championship. He was an all-freshman player in 2022. Just bad tape last year. And I think that was
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with either one of them there. In my own personal mock, I have Niners going corner also. Between those 2, whichever one's there, or honestly, I would go Barron if both are there.
And I think to answer his too, F-Man Rocks, I think if Will Johnson wasn't hurt last year, I think maybe he would have challenged that. I mean, he still could be the number 1 corner. I mean, it's not like he's out of that running. I just think that Will Johnson, some of his tape just looked bad. That's all it was. And Barron didn't. So, but I like that's going on. I think the Niners could go pass rusher. They can go corner. I'm going to go the back end and let Robert Saleh get physical in the secondary and then go from there.
Yeah, we lost Ward. I mean, they got to get a corner.
Yeah. Lost a couple corners, didn't you, I think?
We lost Ward as the starter.
Yeah.
We still have Lenore.
Okay. Well, Luke, America's – yeah.
Yeah, I know you.
Give up players too.
America's team. So I'm doing my best. Jerry Jones here. He said he's not going to focus taking a running back in the first round. So I'm going to pass on Genty here, even though I really thought about taking Genty for the Cowboys. They also picked up 2 running backs in free agency. I think it's another reason why they pass on a running back. Offensive line would be pretty big here for them too. But being Jerry Jones, he's going to just do whatever the fuck he wants. So I'm going to take a risk on the FBS sack king, Mike Green.
You're a perfect Dallas Cowboys GM listening to him.
Yeah, I mean,
so
the stud Adam Marshall that balled out at the Senior Bowl practices. I don't know how he did in the game, but I know he was lighting some tackles up in the practices. Probably raise his draft stock all the way up to be a top tier first round edge rusher. So I think Jerry Jones takes that risk, puts that little pressure on Michael Parsons. I don't know if they get a deal done this offseason, but if this young rookie comes out here and balls out, it might let Mike Parsons walk. I don't know. We'll see. But that's gonna be a nasty. It'd be a nasty team with Parsons on one side and Mike Green on the other.
Hopefully they can stop the run because Parsons can't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I don't know if Mike Green stops the run that much. He's also a sack guy too. So
Now, do you guys think with Dallas, since they're a big team, like you said, the running back could be there, offensive line, could you see receiver? I mean, it's only really CeeDee Lamb.
it could be. I mean, this could be that wide receiver out of Mizzou goes here.
Golden could be there too. Let him stay in Texas.
Yeah, Golden.
You know how Jerry is. He likes to hit that flash in the pan type guy. The guy that's been raising stocks. He likes to jump on it pretty quick.
I mean, you don't think they picked up a bunch of free agent scrub running backs, but
Williams
Spent over $6 million.
I think. Yeah, I think they wait on running back.
Yeah, they finally did. It wasn't a 2-year deal, Chris, but it was a 1-year deal.
Spent over that $6 million.
yeah.
Who was it? It was Williams, and who was the other one? It was Miles Sanders, right? I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that's so terrible.
Yeah, trash.
Jake, the Miami Dolphins, just a little south of where you're at right now.
Oh yeah, old South Florida. This is a no-brainer. If I was the GM of the Miami Dolphins, I would draft O-line for the rest of my life, for the rest of Tua's life. Right
Not
here,
wrong
I'm
for that.
definitely going Tyler Booker, stud out of Alabama. Miami's O-line was 26th ranked last year. They were the single worst in fastest allowing pass rush. I mean, and you have a brittle quarterback. You got to beef up that O-line. I'm pretty sure Liam and Robert Jones are free agents. So, I mean, they literally have nobody on their O-line right now.
They did sign one guy from the Bears and Steelers. That in his career, not the best, coming off an injury as well.
But, I mean, you got to go O-line here. I mean, you're stuck with Tua. You signed to that big contract. You got to get him some help.
I could see Dolphins going safety as well. I could see Starks coming off the board here. I think Starks is a big name to go to Miami potentially if he's here. I mean, obviously you said offensive line. I can see secondaries. They lost Holland. It's Miami. They've been trying to hit O-line for the last few years, it seems like.
Who did Holland sign with? He signed with somebody,
The
right?
Giants.
Oh, gosh.
It's the Giants. They usually find defensive guys throughout their little tenure. But, I could see that. I mean, Booker's a stud. His stock's been coming up, too. I think he might be one of the only guards in the first round. There might be a couple, but he's definitely the first name off the board, probably.
A lot of day 2 and day 3 guards, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so going in the Colts, I think they're in a perfect position here. I know they invested heavily in the secondary. They got Ward for the corner. They got Cameron for safety. They signed him for some big deals. They also, highest paid backup quarterback, Danny Dimes, $14 million, 1-year deal. Him and Anthony Richardson going to battle it out for that starting role. But I mean, they have a young, promising receiving core, and I think they're going to add to it. I have Tyler Warren out of Penn State. I think he adds value as a blocker, and he's also that gadget type play. I mean, we've seen it almost every game for Penn State. They had some crazy play worked up for Tyler Warren.
Yeah, man, Rocks. Membu might go to guard. We're going to talk about him very shortly. It sounds like he's a big name. But, Chris, the Colts got to go tight end. I mean, you got to help whichever quarterback you're going to get. I mean, he is like a mixture of, in my opinion, George Kittle, Brock Bowers. I really think.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's going to be at that level, but that's what he reminds me. He can block like Kittle. He's athletic like Brock Bowers. It sucks he's from Penn State. Same with the Michigan tight end. These guys don't play in a passing-heavy offense. I think that Warren right here would be a steal for the Indianapolis Colts. How about you? What do you think?
What they need to steal is a quarterback, but
They got Danny Dimes. Calm down.
I think Tyler Warren's a pretty good pick at this point, especially being that top tier tight end. I mean, watching him at Penn State, that dude he was pretty much the offense over at Penn State.
The running backs are usually good too.
Yeah, but this I watches like him in those last few games. Dude's balling out.
Yeah, he was trying to lead them there. He was trying.
I think he got some passing touchdowns this season too, if I remember.
Yeah, he did. I think think he had like a pretty deep one too, not like a 30, 40 yarder.
Yeah.
Well, my team, the Atlanta Falcons, obviously. Do we go quarterback again, guys? I mean, that's the running joke, right?
That's what you guys do.
But
Ashton Genty right here.
2020 hindsight, so we got 2 good running backs. Let's go draft a running back.
If I was picking for the Falcons right there, I would have went quarterback.
In 2020 hindsight, the pick though, if we go back, it was the right pick. It just sucks to pick Kirk Cousins. That's the bad part. The pick actually worked. That's the right pick, but sucked that it happened at the moment. But obviously, cornerback. You can go D-line, you can go edge. I believe edge. We've never really had a good pass rusher. We've had like 1 or 2 here and there. So you have a pick of the litter, right? I mean, it depends on what you want. Do you want to go with the athletic ceiling guy of Stewart? You have Michael Williams from Georgia. I'm going to go James Pierce. I think the size, the height that he has, I think he needs to add a little weight. I think he can do that. But the speed and the power, what he drives in that, the speed and power is phenomenal. Now he needs to work on his finesse moves as well, but you can work on that. You can get that. Raheem Morris as a defensive coach. So I think he can instill that in James Pierce. Locker room potential issues. Yeah, it's been floating around. But I think maybe it was just the culture of Tennessee. Maybe it was the fact that Tennessee always just sucks. Maybe the fact that they choke, he was getting pissed off. I don't know. But I believe with Raheem Morris, the culture in Atlanta, AJ Terrell, guys like that on the defensive side, Jesse Bates, he could play pretty hard. And I believe that's the guy we're going to go for. I think he is one of the best pass rushers. And give me Tennessee's pass rusher, James Pierce Jr.
Taking a risk on his locker room vibe he's giving off.
Well, a couple of these guys.
They have an A+ locker room report card, Luke. Okay.
Well,
the Falcons are.
They ain't talking about the vibe. They're talking about what it looks like.
Well, a couple of these
it may look.
Well, it's just
They
the thing
look
is like, yeah, Michael Williams and Stewart, they're both ceiling guys. They have high ceilings, but they have to develop as a pass rusher, as a true pass rusher. That's going to get the quarterback down. Now, James Pierce is already there out of the guys. He's just got, can he work on the attitude, and can he work on the finesse moves and things like that? I think he can. So I would take James Pierce.
All right. So moving on to the Cardinals. Cardinals, I think they have to go either defensive or offensive side of the ball in the trenches, either that interior D lineman or that big time offensive lineman. I think they're going to go take the number 3rd ranked offensive tackle, Mimbu out of Mizzou. I think him playing right tackle most of his career, I think helps him a little bit. I mean, he's not going to be as valuable as a left tackle, obviously, but he's able to move in positions. I think somebody put in the comments already. So versatile depth piece. I think he'll be a full-time starter. Big boy, 6'4", 332. So I think get some extra protection for Kyler Murray, so he's not scrambling as much as he usually does.
Damn, Luke, you might be right on the site, man. 6'4", 332.
Damn, Luke. Were you on the site
weird.
before?
That's weird. I got some fucking notes going.
Hey, he took some notes.
Let me see those notes real quick, Luke. It's always good to see those note checks.
Probably better handwriting than you have.
Hey,
shit! The notepad is back.
The fucking notepad.
Luke probably went and bought that, and he's like, "I'm never gonna use this fucking
Never
thing.
gonna use it.
It's not even my notepad.
He doesn't even have a pen.
Right?
Oh yeah.
It's just a notepad.
He just doesn't know where it's at. It's there. He just doesn't. He doesn't
Don't
know.
worry, I got pens.
How come they don't? How come the ink's not on the paper though? You got 3 pens. Where's the ink?
I don't know if these pens work.
They're full of ink.
Yeah, and I got a highlighter here, so I'm ready.
Oh,
Jake, your closet team, the Cincinnati Bengals, man. What
Oh
you
my
got?
gosh! Of course, this stupid team falls to me. I hate
Blame
the Bengals.
blame Doc. Blame Doc.
Hate the Bengals.
Let's hear what you pick for this one.
I can't wait to
Yeah,
rip
this
this
is
one.
great.
I'm gonna rip it. I'm close. I can't wait.
Just go ahead and
Please do
pick
rip
it.
it. I hate this stupid team. They should go all line, but I have them going with Loveland here, adding more to the stupid offense because all they like to do is pay their offensive players. I hope they absolutely suck this year.
So my question is, as a general manager, because this is not what we think is going to happen, why the hell are you drafting tight end if you're the general manager?
Because he's 6'5", and all he does is catch the freaking ball, and that's what they want. They want to score 70 freaking points a game
So
and
you're
play no defense.
to make Joe Burrow happy. That's what you're drafting for.
Exactly.
Make quarterback happy. Okay.
That's all they're doing is paying everyone to make Joe Burrow happy.
Right here.
The dude
I
had-
agree with Dylan.
He had
There's-
56 freaking catches.
I agree with Dylan. There's no way.
I agree.
just-
There's no way, but I hate this
just-
stupid team. Tight end for the Bengals. Hate them.
Hates him, Chris.
I mean, hey, Joe Burrow
would-
is about to feel what Drew Brees went through for so many years.
Now, don't get me wrong. If Loveland goes to the Bengals, he's going to thrive. Like he would thrive. He'd be in heaven.
That's great. They just have to score every fucking drive.
Yeah, I agree. Right?
They're already going to.
It
They
is-
better
they-
they better
they have
play,
no defensive
they better
players.
pay Trey. They better pay Trey too. That'd be a stupid move.
They just paid. I mean, I agree with Dylan. They just paid Mike Kazeski. So Kazeski, whatever. I just
Trey-
don't.
Yeah,
Trey
exactly.
Hendrickson, he's a one trick pony too. All he does is rush the passer. He's not a run stopper. So I mean,
Yeah, but I mean
They-
they have nothing.
they got fucking and they lost the other Hubbard to retirement instead of being cut.
Yeah, they lost him. During the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, come on, like this fucking team.
his teammates.
stupid.
I
Well,
hate
because
the Bengals.
I think Hubbard knew he was going to get. I think he was getting released, and he just said, "Nah, I'll just take it."
Yep.
No, CJ Hendricks. It sounds like Hendrickson's going to be. They're saying that he's coming. The rumors are Jake was saying last night, and I actually saw it too, that Hendrickson is about to get paid.
Cool. He
Yeah,
can
try.
show for his 2 to 3 plays a game.
They're in talks, yeah, but I mean that's not gonna make a difference for their whole defense. They're still
They'll
getting
take up the
torched.
last 30% of the
Hey.
cap.
Hendrick,
Yeah,
Yeah, dude,
exactly.
yeah, the three of
Henderson
them.
played all last season. Look at that defense.
The three
And
of them.
Hubbard.
Exactly.
The three of them. The three offensive guys are at 44% of the salary cap for the.
It makes
Yep.
no sense. It's
I mean,
so stupid.
It's great if it works. Like the Eagles made it work, and offense for a little bit. I mean, they weren't winning Super Bowls or competing, but they were able to pay guys. And the Eagles
I
won.
mean, I'm not even hating, but I mean, is Higgins really even that good?
Whoa, dude.
No,
Okay.
no
that's
all
okay.
pros,
And that's
no all
system, yeah.
pros, no nothing. I mean, let's be honest here.
Well, you're not
I
going to
mean,
get an all pro when you have Jamar Chase above you.
Yeah, it's hard to have two All Pros as. It's hard for a receiver duo to have two All Pros. Like
The Eagles
Julio,
also.
Julio and Roddy
He-
White weren't even all pros together when they played, and they were both really good. Mike Evans and
Eagles
Chris Godwin,
also-
not even sure if they are either.
The Eagles also did it because
Those two have to. Oh,
hey.
there we go. Jesus Christ. Let's
Hey
go.
guys, we just want to say
hell yeah, Kyle.
shout out to you, Kyle, man. Appreciate the
We
appreciate
love
the vibes,
Jesus.
man. Yeah, amen.
But no, the Eagles did it
Praise
because
King.
they actually draft defensive players good. So I mean, they got a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
rookies.
Eagles
There's
were
a
able
lot
to
of
pay him
rookies
because
that
they.
are
Well,
good.
yeah.
And
Howie knows what he's doing. Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with that.
There's
So,
a
I
difference
mean-
between a good GM and a bad
Yeah,
one.
that's what Luke said. I was like,
Exactly.
how the hell are they not doing it? And Luke's like, oh, there's between a good GM and a bad GM. I was like,
Exactly.
oh, probably the best thing you said.
It's true.
Well, moving
I mean,
on to Seattle real quick. So I mean, the offense is going to be completely different. Geno's out, DK's out, Lockett's out. You replace it with Darnold, Cup,
There
and
we go.
Valdez. So I mean, the offense is going to be a lot different.
Hey, whoa,
What are
why are you
laughing?
laughing? Why are you laughing at MVS? He was a stud last year.
I know. I told y'all when
you
the
were
news came-
laughing. No, you were laughing when you were talking to all these guys.
No, I mean, I wish we could have kept him. I loved him, but
It was great hearing you and Doc fucking go at it about MVS last year.
no, I thought MVS stepped up. He played good, and I mean, good for him. But I mean, the interior offensive line, 5th lowest grade in the league last year, so they definitely need some interior offensive line help. And I think Gray's able to. He looked like a day one starter at the Senior Bowl. Also, background at the tackle position when he played at North Dakota State. So you have a little bit of flexibility right there with him if you need to shift that O line around due to injury. So I mean, I think this would be a great pick for them.
Yeah, I could see it, Chris. I mean, the Seahawks, one of those teams that O-line is definitely a need for these guys. I mean, they have studs, so they're just always hurt.
and Gino was running
Yep.
for his life.
Yep.
And I have Darnold, so he's going to be running for his life.
Darnold's deal is actually a 1-year deal.
Oh,
too.
it's a great. After looking
Great
at it
deal.
last night,
Yeah.
it's a great deal for the
Yeah.
Seahawks. It's you get off after 1 year, and
After
if he-
1 year,
if
if
he
he's
does,
trash. Yeah.
if he does good and he somehow like can do what he couldn't do in Minnesota and get past the first round, then hey, keep him. I mean,
Yep.
it's a win-win for both guys, honestly.
Yeah, not a bad deal at all.
Well, guys, to the rival Bucks. I mean, there's a couple things I would have liked here. Well, glad that Barron didn't fall here. Barron would have been an option. I could see safety as well, corner. I saw a mock with Will Johnson going to the Bucks. He falls there, and I would hate that. But I think with pass rusher still there's a couple of them. You have Stewart. You have Mikael Williams. They did bring Heretic in, so like you don't have to worry about these guys being a day one bona fide stud. So you could take a chance on which one do you want to be the guy that's going to be learning from Reddick. And I'm just going to go Mikael Williams. I mean, he can play in 3-4. He can play in 4-3. He prefers the 3-4, honestly. But, I mean, he's there. He's got a great ceiling. He just needs to work on being an actual pure pass rusher. And I think with Hassan Reddick there, why not? I mean, you do have Villa next to you as well, so you have big bodies there on the line.
If healthy, yeah.
If healthy, yeah. I mean, I just think it's the right move. And he's very strong, very athletic. He's a freak athlete. And I think that's what the Bucs are going to use him for. And hopefully he can develop that game into the next level. So I'll go Mikael Williams from Georgia to pair up there with the Bucs and start pressuring the quarterbacks. So that's one thing that they lack on is getting to the QB whoever they're playing.
Yep.
All right.
Good pick.
Well,
Yeah,
moving on to this.
It's a boring pick, honestly, for the Bucs.
Yeah.
It's just
Good pick.
This
Well,
is-
surprised.
I have a better
Surprised
pick.
Stewart dropped this low.
I got a better pick. A little more excitement coming up.
This
have a
one's
feeling-
more
Yeah,
exciting.
finally, the
Chris, I
first
have a
running
feeling he's
back.
going to fall even farther.
Yeah, well, finally we got the first running back coming off the board to help out Bo Nix. We got Ashton Genty going to the Denver Broncos. I think this is a layup for the Broncos if Genty falls this far. Currently, they don't really have that top tier running back on the Broncos, so he'd be day one starter. He's going to feast in that Broncos offense with Sean Payton. They already picked up one of the other biggest needs was tight end with Evan Ingram. They got a couple of good wide receivers out there. I probably think they pick up another one. If Genty's not on the board, they probably go the next best wide receiver or offensive lineman, in my opinion. But Genty's still here in our draft, so I'm taking him, and he is going to be a fantasy monster. On the
This
Broncos
right here,
offense.
this right here would be a steal. I mean, he'd be the Alvin
Crazy.
Kamara of this team. He'd be a freak.
Heisman
Probably more
runner up.
rushing. Yeah, more rushing
Yeah.
yards probably than AK. What, Jake? You don't like the pick? You don't like the Broncos going?
I'm not sold on Genty.
He's the fan Heisman right here.
You don't like
Yeah,
Jensen?
I mean, did we watch him against good teams?
Yeah, he had 100.
Oregon?
Oregon. He killed Oregon. I mean,
Yeah,
they
like
didn't win.
touchdowns too.
I think he had like almost 200 something yards or 100 high hundreds.
I'm not sold.
Penn State struggled, but against Oregon, he balled out.
He still had,
Everybody
over 100 yards. against
Yeah,
Penn
but
State, too.
his average per carry is like 3.5. So
Well,
like
they-
a lot of carries.
Well, Penn State's
Hey.
defense is also very good,
3.5. That's all
And-
you need in the NFL.
and they sold out.
No.
and stopped them.
NFL, they prefer 4.5 to 5. That's what they want. I mean, it's just like he had 30 something carries against Penn State. I mean, damn, you should have 100 yards.
Penn State
Yeah,
was-
for real.
like Penn State was selling out to stop him though,
Well, I mean,
which was the right answer.
Oregon couldn't do it. I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh, they played Oregon early in the season though, so they probably didn't know like he'd be that good or that much of a problem.
Genty was
compared
good
to,
in
like-
2023. He had like 13.
Well, he was
14.
good, yeah, but he wasn't like Heisman level good last
No,
year.
yeah, I agree. He wasn't.
He wasn't. Nobody was talking about him until probably like halfway through the season, being a Heisman contender.
Well, Jake, you were thinking though Hampton could be. Would you flip it for Hampton? Would Hampton be the running back then, or would you just not go running back?
I just want to go running back.
I feel like the Broncos. That's what they're missing. I feel like that'd be a piece. Like Luke said, you got Evan Ingram, you got the receivers. Crazy though how Pat
They got
Surtain
a bunch of
and
defensive
Sutton,
players already.
Cortland Sutton and Pat Surtain were being potential shopped last year, and now that has been swept under the rug. They didn't even. No one's talking that anymore.
Yeah, because they weren't expecting a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think, especially if this happens, Luke, I have Broncos winning the AFC West. I'm really high. I like the Broncos this year.
Yeah, I don't think Genty falls this far just because his hype's so high. But if he does, crazy pick.
Crazy pick.
And if he
Crazy,
doesn't,
crazy.
then Hampton's there too. I mean, Hampton would be available at that point. North Carolina's running back. Jake's
You
high.
guys think Denver goes running back no matter what right there?
If both of them are there,
If Hampton's on the board, yeah, 100%.
if they're both gone, then no. They
Well,
don't.
yeah.
And then maybe receiver. They could use another receiver next to Sutton. Like Denver's an interesting spot. I think it's offense regardless. Shit, you could even go another tight. You could do the 2 tight end system. I mean,
Who's the third running back you have going on the first round?
well, it's a bold take. So let's go to the running backs real quick. Obviously, Hampton and
You want a Texas Tech boy?
I mean, Junkins and Henderson are the two guys that are getting a lot of the attention at the moment. So one of those could sneak in. I said it's a bold take. I think we're ultimately going to get 2, but my bold take is 3. I just think that the running back class is so heavy that once those 2 guys fall, someone might trade back in the first round just to get a 5th-year player option just to get them late in the first round. I mean, the Browns could do it. Nick Chubb's not guaranteed to be there. You can see the Browns going running back. Just some thoughts.
Yeah.
Jake, the Steelers, man, Steel City.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Steelers. Once DK and Pickens are done fighting each other, I got them going with another receiver here in Burden. They've been looking for receiver for a year and a half, and they said they weren't done even after getting DK.
Still don't like the move.
I think Austin is their third, but
Decent year last year.
Burden actually took a step back. I mean, 2023 was a whole lot better than 2024. But
I think Missouri itself was better. Like the whole team in 2023 was just better.
yeah, I think he's only my height too. I think he's only 5'11".
Damn, you're 5'11"?
Yeah,
He's 6 foot on this website.
I got him at 5'11", but
You know how they lie a little bit.
yeah.
It's like
But
Kevin
yeah,
Durant.
I mean,
It's like Kevin Durant's. Like they say, whatever height he is.
That's quite a wide receiver room now. You put that DK
Yeah,
and
but
Pickens.
who's throwing the ball though? I mean,
Oh, who cares? Who cares who's on the ball?
that's
You gotta-
what Tomlin's one of receivers bad. Like that's all. I mean, they still called Ayuk even after the DK deal was done. I mean, they just want receivers bad. I don't know what he's planning or what he's up to, but
He's gonna go
I got
back
him.
hard.
Aaron
I got him
Rodgers
going
gonna be
receiver
throwing
here.
that. Throwing
Pittsburgh.
That rock
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, we're talking Steelers because that's the team that says he's holding him hostage. Aaron Rodgers, there's reports. I don't believe the reports because Aaron Rodgers, what he said, but the report is he might wait until the draft week to make his decision, which would really fuck teams like the Steelers and
It's jacking everybody up. Yeah.
I
What I read, what the
Holding
holdup
him
is he's all set and ready to go to the Steelers, but he's waiting to see what the Vikings want to do. If Vikings offer him a contract, he's going to take the Vikings.
I have been saying, me and Riz have been saying Vikings, and everyone said it's
That's
crazy.
That's what the whole everything that I'm reading. That's the holdup is the Vikings.
Yeah,
He's already
because
made up his mind.
It's a better situation. It's a
Who
better
wouldn't want to go to
situation.
the Vikings?
Yeah, you have. I mean, the receivers in Pittsburgh are good, but the drama cases. You have Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hawkinson, Addison. Naylor's a pretty good 3. He knows Aaron Jones. Obviously, the defense is phenomenal. The O line, they're all about the same, to be honest. Like the Steelers and Vikings O line, about the same. But you got Daresau, a good left tackle, coming back. I mean, I think the Vikings are just a better fit. And then you keep JJ on the bench for another year or 2. He can learn. He's still young. He can learn for 2 or 3 years in his NFL career, and then
That's probably what they're talking about. Like, hey, are we going to bench JJ another year? If so, we'll go get Rodgers. I don't know. Who knows?
Russell might as well go
Rodgers-
sign with the Giants, by the way, because he's not going to the Giants.
Rodgers
is
will
not
probably-
on
No.
Rodgers would probably rather work with KOC instead of Arthur Smith, anyways, running the offense.
Plus, it's his
Oh, yeah,
destiny.
that's-
It's his destiny to go from the Jets.
Yeah,
to the
I
Vikings.
get that Aaron Rodgers respects Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's defensive guy, so like he's first off he's gonna make fucking Arthur Smith his cuck. That's what Aaron Rodgers is. I think KOC would keep Aaron Rodgers in check somewhat, like he respects his offensive mind. But Arthur Smith would be a cuck to fucking Aaron Rodgers. Just pretty much like every other offensive coordinator they've had recently that is paired up with Aaron Rodgers.
Clip of the fucking night, Luke. I love that one. That's a clip right there.
Thanks.
It's a clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave that part out. You can't leave the it's a clip part. Yeah, take that out.
Oh yeah, no shit. That's definitely coming out. Chris,
okay.
Chargers,
Go-
man.
Yeah, going to the Chargers.
Follow that up.
Yeah, Jake.
Follow that up.
Jake fucked me here, picking a fucking outrageous
Yeah.
pick for the Bengals. I think we're possibly going to see a reunion here between Jim and Loveland. I mean, obvious fit for a tight end. Justin Herbert needs a tight end. I mean, they just need offensive weapons, to be honest.
They need weapons.
Yeah, but I have a crazy pick. I have the Tar Heel, Amarian Hampton.
Hampton.
Yeah, Hampton.
Yep.
That's what I said.
Him and Najee. That's it.
Yeah, I mean they did just signed Fat Eddie Lacy, so he's on the team now. But I think
He's got
Herbert.
1,000 yards
I think,
in every single season. Show that.
Yeah, I
man
didn't know that until I
respect.
read that recently. He's at 1,000 yards every season.
It's not
yeah,
that hard.
when you have 30 carries. So,
Oh, okay. Well,
but no, I think Hampton gives Herbert that home run chance, that little threat. So, I mean,
that'd be
I like
scary
it.
too. Yeah, I mean, it'd be scary. I mean, yeah, Najee's there for 1 year. It's this way is what it is, but man, that'd be pretty good. Just have to get another receiver next to McConkey eventually.
Yeah, that's the only threat right now is McConkey. So, I mean, you definitely need a wide receiver.
Yeah, because I don't think they even have a good tight end, do they?
I don't even know who their tight end is.
Didn't they have Hayden Hurst last year?
No, that was a couple of years ago, I think.
He's
I
been
literally-
around.
I don't know. No, was
I'll
Hurst
tell you
there
in
last
2
year?
seconds.
Yeah, I really.
Disley. It was Disley.
Oh yeah, but he was
Disley will.
he was so up and down. He's not the guy.
No, I agree.
Guys, a team that I think Jake, I believe it was a video. Jake challenged us on I forgot which episode we did. He said, when was the last time the Packers chose a first round receiver? And I just threw 2002 and happened to be right. Guy was no good. If I'm the Packers GM, I'm going receiver. Do I think it's going to happen? No, I don't, because that's what the Packers do. They don't give a shit about drafting a receiver in the first round for their quarterback. And yeah, am I a little biased with this pick? Am I a little homer? Yeah, I'm going Matthew Golden if I'm the Green Bay Packers. I believe what I saw last year with him, obviously in Houston, different than the way he played in Texas, because Texas, you can hate it on Quinn Ewers all you want to. Quinn Ewers is miles ahead, better than anything that Houston ever had at quarterback. The offense is meant to be good with Steve Sarkisian calling plays. Couldn't tell you calls plays in Houston. Obviously, I didn't know he was this fast. I didn't know he ran 4.29. His game speed doesn't match his 40 speed. He didn't play like that. He didn't play down the field. He was a very good route runner, very crisp route runner, and he plays in the middle of the field a lot. He's a very athletic freak, makes crazy catches. So I think pairing him up with a guy like Jaden Reed and see if Dobbs and Watson can stay healthy, I think this would be really good for the Packers. Would obviously help Jordan Love, who I'm not a fan of. I say draft a receiver. I don't give a shit if it's Ibuka. Draft a receiver, and I'll go Golden. I think Ibuka every other year was inconsistent, so I'm going to go Matthew Golden. And he's shooting the boards too. That combine helped him.
I was trying to think, like, what is Packers' biggest need?
Corner probably. They're probably going to get rid of Alexander. Alexander's probably going to be a trade piece on draft.
Because, I mean, on paper, obviously, when healthy, because their receivers can't stay healthy, but on paper, their biggest need probably isn't receiver.
I'm not a big fan of Dobbs. I'm not a big Watson's good when he's healthy.
Reed's good.
Reed took a shit in this last month and a half of the games I thought last year.
I mean, the whole Packers did, but
It goes back to I'm not a Jordan Love guy. I'm
I'm not either. He got paid way too fast, but I just don't. I don't know. I mean,
you can go
out of all the years that we thought they would finally take a first round receiver, I don't know if right now would be their
no.
So they probably will do it, because now we're saying that they're not going to do it. But
pass rusher and corner and probably receiver are my biggest needs for them. I think Alexander, like I said, gets traded somewhere on draft night, maybe draft week. If they go corner first round, I think Alexander's gone. You can go pass rusher. They don't really have any.
I think they said all along he's gone, right?
They're shopping him.
Yeah.
The rumor around town.
They allowed him to go find a trade partner or something, right?
Yeah, and the draft is in Green Bay, so all eyes will be on this pick. I'm telling you, I think Alexander's gone. And then you go pass rusher. You have Stewart here. I mean, you have some guys still that are right here ready to go. But
man, I'd take Alexander.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I want to give more than a third.
I wouldn't give more than a third. No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
don't think so.
I'm sure that's probably what they're.
Would you?
That's what they're probably shopping for.
But Niners have two
What?
threes and 2 4s.
Would you give up a third or just nothing more than a third?
I would give up eighth. Like I would give up a third and maybe
Like a
some
fifth.
other picks, but I'm not giving.
Maybe
I'm
a
not giving
third
up
and a
anything
swap.
higher.
A
I'm not.
third
Yeah,
and a
I'm not
swap
giving up
later.
anything
Yeah.
higher than a third.
Okay.
Agreed. But Niners do have 2 3s and 2 4s.
I'm gonna say every year until they hit on receiver, just get a fucking receiver. So I don't think they do it. Like I said, they're not going to. And when we do our mock draft the week of, I won't have receiver for them.
They need it though.
That's what I would do.
All right. Well, moving on to the Vikings. No real glaring need, I think, for the Vikings overall. I think they can use some help on the defensive side, maybe a defensive interior, or somebody out in the secondary. That's why I'm going to go Nick Emery out of I don't know if I'm saying that right. Emery,
That's pretty good,
South
actually.
Carolina. Big physical safety in the back, 6'3", 220. He can be that chess piece for Brian Flores, kind of similar to what Kyle Hamilton does, where he can line up on the line of scrimmage, rush passer, play coverage, play deep, kind of do it all, kind of safety. Trying to be that ultimate chess piece, kind of like a Kyle Hamilton vibe.
And with Hitman possibly gone very soon, too. They lost Cam Bynum.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is a need. You take him over Starks?
Yeah, I think so. I like his size a little more. He's a couple inches bigger, 15, 20 pounds heavier. So I think he's more physical.
I think the Vikings are going to trade back ultimately because they don't have many picks. Obviously, no doing
Don't they have
trade.
like 4?
Yeah, they have 4. So I could see like them go like they're obviously not going to get anything high for pick 24. They maybe get like a 4th rounder, 5th rounder, something like that. Maybe a team that just needs to maybe one of these pass rushers fall, like a Starks fall. Someone will definitely trade up with the Vikings, I think. And then, but yeah, obviously not doing trades. Look, I think it's a hell of a pick. His stock's been coming up too. The combine really helped him too.
So
Yeah, young stud right here.
So if Vikings don't get Rodgers, they ride JJ. Where are we putting them?
What do you mean?
Standings.
I think they should make the playoffs.
Well, how much of the Kool-Aid are we drinking from Chicago?
Not as much
I think
as
I'm being
that.
serious because that
Back-to-back
Kool-Aid's always-
off-season champs.
That
Have
Kool-Aid
start
has
drinking
that
that.
Kool-Aid for the Chicago has no sugar in it
Chris,
for me right
that's a
now.
three-peat back. That's back-to-back. Like, remember they got DJ Moore.
Repeat. Sorry,
Yeah.
got to put some respect on it.
Yeah,
They're a
they are-
competitive team.
They are what
They
the
are a
Lakers are. Yeah.
competitive team.
They're the Lakers. They're like the in-season champs, like the off-season champs. So that's
So do we have them third in the division?
Well, you guys have been high on the Lions falling back because they lost both coordinators.
That's
So
why I said third.
Well, would they maybe jump Detroit?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I don't think the Packers
Oh,
in the. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I don't think I think Packers can finish last place. I'm not that high on Green Bay. I feel like they could take a big step back and go to last place.
I think Vikings and Packers are fighting for 3 and 4.
I think Detroit
see
still
that.
can be 1 or 2. I think Minnesota. I have Minnesota in. Because we haven't seen JJ. If Aaron Rodgers is there, yeah,
That's what I'm saying. We don't know what to expect. Like, what if JJ sucks? Like,
he's coming off an injury. He hasn't played football really like competitively since the 2023 college football season.
and he was a dump off king in Michigan.
Well, best quarterback ever at Michigan. Yeah, Jake, the Houston Texans.
Man, what a terrible sophomore season for Stroud. Man, that was pathetic. I drafted him in so many leagues. I had them going Josh Simmons. O-line here try to figure something out for Stroud. I think Simmons would have been a whole lot higher of a draft pick if he didn't get hurt.
Yeah,
I mean, he plays both sides. The dude's good. And I think you're gonna get a heck of a player for sure. If healthy, like I don't know when he's gonna return. We don't know if he's gonna start the year.
They said if he was healthy, he could have rivaled that number 1 spot for
Absolutely. I mean, the dude's a stud. I mean, he played the first 6 games, but like I said, he had that bad injury. So I mean, if healthy, I think this is a steal at 25 because you could be getting one of the best players in the draft.
And
Just took an injury.
you shop Tunzel. I mean, you're giving up. You shop Green. I mean, you need O-line. I mean, that was part of the reasons I thought Stroud took a big step back. Obviously, he played bad, but the O-line didn't really help him out.
O-line didn't help at all. Yeah, like they got to go O-line here. And I think it's an absolute steal getting him this late if he comes back as a player he was for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Going to the other Los Angeles team. Picked both Los Angeles teams. Don't know how that one happened, but
I
here we
picked
go.
both New York teams. So.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Blame Doc.
I mean, corner here is really interesting. I mean, they've struggled with corner since they've traded Jalen Ramsey. No corner on their team was above a 65 PFF overall coverage grade. So, I mean, Barron would have been a perfect match here. Zone-heavy scheme in Los Angeles. So, I mean, that would have been good. but I have them going Ibuku. I think he's a great route runner. I think he'll match up perfect with the Rams offense, and I think that'll be a deadly trio right there. Puka, Tutu, and Ibuka.
I'm just confused with you and Jake with these pass catchers, man.
What do you mean?
It's like Jake goes tight end. I mean, I understand he hates the Bengals. He's plotting against them, but
They're trying to cover up for Cup leaving up.
you brought in Adams. That's the cover. You bring in arguably
Fuck,
the
I
best
did
number
forget.
2.
I did forget.
Yeah,
Adams.
we did this yesterday, and I saw.
Shit.
I was like, they brought
did.
Devontae Adams in. Like, he's a 1 on almost a lot of teams.
Hey, it's good wide receiver room. He had a good
Oh,
room.
yeah,
in there.
hey, Stafford's gonna have.
That is
Stafford's
a
gonna be-
very solid wide receiver room now.
Stafford's in heaven.
I'm trying.
I was sitting there like,
I completely forgot they got Adams. Gonna be honest with you.
Luke,
Holy
tell
fuck.
this guy to take notes like you, man.
Yeah,
They're gonna score. They're gonna score 70 with the Bengals. Whoever gets 71 first.
I'm trying to turn that franchise into the Bengals. Okay.
Exactly.
Now, the Rams defense did lose Bobby Brown and all that, but their defense was pretty. They were pretty good last year. Still, I mean, they pass rushing. They got to the quarterback all over. Jared Verse, rookie of the year, like you said, Chris Corner.
Fuck it, then pick defensive players, go secondary, and pick somebody that nobody's picked yet.
Too late.
And nobody's-
It's already on the board.
Nobody's scared of the NFC West that's coming up here.
I mean, hey, but like you said, if they get Ibuka, I mean, that right there, it's kind of like what the Bears did with Allen, DJ Moore, and then Roman Dunze. You're just getting Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, arguably the best 1-2 punch, and then you added Ibuka.
Yep.
I mean, Puka, not Cup.
Yeah. Puka.
Oh,
Kupp's
Puka,
gone.
Puka.
Cup's gone.
Sorry.
Take
Right.
notes. Take notes.
Take some notes.
Fuck.
He lives for
some notes.
Seattle now.
Chris is so pissed I brought that up.
Dude, I forgot they took Adams.
When I saw that, I was like, okay, I get Jake, dude. He hates the Bengals, man. He's just being a dick. But I was like, what? It's like, what did the Rams? I guess NFC Championship. Chris has got blood still in his eyes from the bounty or the missed PI call.
Yeah, that was a long time
There
ago.
it is. There
Hey,
it
it's
is.
still there. The hatred's still there. That hatred doesn't go away.
Hatred's still there.
Not their fault, but Luke, your Baltimore Ravens here. I mean, this is the point of the draft where you guys typically trade back, maybe even trade up. I mean, you could. I can see y'all trading with the Vikings, just a few spots, but
Nah,
You
I don't
typically-
think we trade up.
yeah, I don't think so
Trade back.
this year. But I could see with the Vikings, there's only a few spots, but you guys typically will draft just best player. Like it doesn't even have to be a need because I mean, you like I said, picking this late, it's not always team need, and this guy here falling this low or in the draft, I have Shamar Stewart. This is a guy you can develop behind Kyle Van Noy or with Kyle Van Noy. He's an ageless wonder now. This guy is pure fucking raw talent. Great ceiling. He's disruptive as hell. He said he doesn't believe in just getting sacks, which is great. I mean, if you're going to get pressure, stop the run, do things like that, that's phenomenal. Now, this guy is big. He's fast. He's strong. And he's disruptive. And that's what the Ravens could use on the defensive side. I mean, you're going against a physical division. The Bengals, the Steelers are still physical, and the Browns, we'll see what they are going to be. But you have to play against the Chiefs, the Bills. This guy right here would help your defensive line, and he would get to the quarterback with whoever else you're going to have on the defensive line.
Yeah, I mean that's a great pick. I mean, Ravens have struggled in the draft finding that top tier edge rusher, mainly because we pick so late every fucking year. But well, we've tried our luck at second and third round edge rushers, and most of the guys haven't really panned out recently. Not like they have in the past. Ravens usually are able to take a later round pick and develop them to being like Terrell Suggs or somebody like that. But I like taking one in the first round. Let him sit and learn from KVN if he's still there. I think he's still planning on playing. But yeah, I mean, should be a home run hit. I mean, and it's a steal at pick 27. Ravens do what they do. Best player available or trade back.
Yeah, when we were doing this, I was sitting here, man, like this is the Ravens do like this is what they do. It doesn't need to be a team need. Glad you approved the pick because, like I said, I believe his ceiling's so high, and he's probably not going to. Well, he's probably not going to be there, but if he is there, I mean, you got to jump all over it if you're the Ravens.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have him there, and I have Ravens trading back. But if he's there, yeah, I mean that's a steal.
The only reason I don't know if we trade back is because we already have 11 picks. So
yeah, it's like why add more? I mean,
yeah.
the Patriots used to do it back with Belichick. They used to trade back
Right.
20 picks they had.
All right, we could trade back out of the first, try to get some like more mid-round picks because we got We only have a few day 2, but most of ours are like the last day. So we
That's
can
what I
try to
was
bundle
thinking.
those
Yeah.
and move them up.
Yeah, I mean, I
Eric
guess
DeCoste, EDC
'Cause
likes
that-
to move. He likes to move up and down the draft board a lot. So
There's a lot of D line in day 2 and 3. Like I feel like the Ravens trade back right there and get a
Well,
couple more.
you could get like, so let's say, for example, let's say Shador doesn't go to the Giants. The Giants pick second in the second round. He could jump all the way. Like they can go from 34 to 27, and they get Jackson Dart before maybe one of these other teams that are playoff or the Super Bowl contending teams trade back do the same thing. Maybe Dart could be.
There's been plenty of times the Ravens trade out of the first round.
It's been a couple times where you trade back in the first round too.
Yeah, we'd grab Lamar, pick 32.
2-time MVP, yeah.
Yeah.
He trade with the Vikings too, or no, it was the Eagles. It was the
Trade
Eagles
back-
that year.
Trade back in.
Yeah, he trade back in with the Eagles. 'Cause they
Is that
won
when
the
we did the?
Yeah,
I don't know what draft that was. I don't remember.
2018.
Oh yeah. All right, moving on to the Mark's Detroit Lions. His closet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, if it's even closet, because he's
How many?
so-
yeah,
I mean, I have the Bills too. I have a couple teams.
yeah. But I think the big part they're missing is the interior defensive line for these guys. I mean, they were riddled with injuries last year. Still put up a pretty good performance on defense, but they're going this season. 2 new coordinators, offense and defense. I think Bolter Nolan out of Ole Miss, young stud, 6'4", almost 300 pounds. So I like him going there. Run stopper, physical, just line up over the center, right over the guard, and take up 2 guys. Open it up for Aiden Hutchinson when he comes back, and whatever other pass rusher they try to pair him up with. But I think Nolan at this far down the board is a pretty good pickup for them as a defensive tackle.
I'm still shocked that they cut Zadarius Smith. He had a pretty good year at his age, and like you said, you pair him with Aiden Hutchinson. I think
Maybe he comes back to the Ravens.
Yeah, you've been
We
saying
tried.
that.
We tried. We agreed to terms with him last year before he went to the Browns, and he fucking flipped. That bitch.
God.
Well, like when the tampering period starts and you agree to terms with teams. So we agreed with Zadarius Smith during that. Then when it came day to sign, he went to the Browns and signed.
Hey, money talks.
Money does talk. Luke.
Yeah, and guess what? They fucking traded his ass anyways.
To the Lions. I mean, it almost worked out for him. I mean,
Almost did.
almost worked out for him.
like Myles Garrett. I want out of this organization.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I really want to win. I really want to win Super Bowls here. My heart's here.
Money talks.
Yeah.
You get $40 million a
Money
year.
talks.
Hey, I'll stop talking. Maybe 2. All right, well, 4 picks left, guys. We all have 1 selection left. Jake, the Commanders, who did beat the Lions in the NFC divisional round.
Dang right. This one was tough for me because Commanders have had a great offseason. They've picked up, some studs. I mean, we got Debo, like they said, they got Tunsil, they got Kinlaw.
Washed.
I mean, this is better than what they had. I mean, Debo is washed. Let's not. But I'm not sold on their running backs. Like Brian Robinson's not the best thing ever. They could, if one of those running backs, those top running backs are available.
Hey, yeah, one of the 3 right here. This could be a Judkins Henderson fit. Hey, yeah, Commanders could do it.
There's
They
your
could go
third.
running back.
There's your third.
I got him going Malachi Starks from Georgia.
The Eagles are going to be so pissed.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. But, they got Lattimore, too. Is he washed?
He is
Yeah,
washed.
he looked washed. Yeah, he definitely did.
But yeah, I think they got Starks here.
That'd be a steal.
he impressed
That'd be
me.
the steal of the first round right there.
I think it'd be a perfect pick for them if they don't go one of those. Like if those running backs drop, I could see that. They still got Eckler, right? But no, I think they go Starks here. I think it's a perfect fit. Washington's up and coming. Washington's going to be dangerous. As long as we don't have a sophomore slump at quarterback. But from what I saw on film, like his game against Texas was phenomenal. The dude's a stud. He doesn't get a ton of picks, but he's definitely definitely good. And I think I love that pick right there.
I could see either like the safety that Luke drafted from Minnesota, I believe Starks is going to be gone at this point. That'd be a pick for him too. I think safety in general could be just maybe just what they do.
Yeah. I think they go as long. I mean, it's hard. Like say if Ginty or someone falls, I mean, it's hard for them. I don't think it'd be hard for them to pass right there, but I think they go safety.
That'd be hell of a pick.
And then, like we said, here's Mark's other team. Buffalo.
This is my first closet team, by the way. This is the OG
Gosh.
closet. The OG closet.
Here's the OG closet team. I mean, the Bills here, look, they need to draft defense, and then on day 2 they need to draft defense, and then on day 3 they also need to draft defense. I literally think they just need a defensive draft here.
They need a receiver.
I have Max. You can throw an undrafted free agent for wide receiver.
Undrafted free agent.
Yeah,
They lost their stud Hollins.
Barefoot Hollins.
There's still a lot of free agent receivers too right now, though.
There's still some washed.
I mean,
will we see a
Cooper might come
reunion
back.
with Diggs?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, but for
We
their
ain't
third
seeing
receiver, they could have a wash receiver, right?
Yeah.
Well, who's their number 2?
But it's not like the Bills don't throw that ball that much. They were on QB power all the time.
Who's their number 2?
Who cares who number 2 is?
Well, Jake said
QB power.
Well, Jake said like you can get number 3. So like you have Shakir. Who else did they bring in? Oh, they brought Palmer in. I guess he's the number 2.
You got Palmer. Yep.
Yeah, you said Palmer was
Samuel
good, didn't you?
Curtis.
I mean, he had a good year with the Chargers when Williams and Allen got hurt a couple years ago. The Chargers
I said who, and you said don't act like that, Palmer. So you must like him.
I mean, I think he's decent. I'm not a big Herbert. Like Herbert needs to show me something too. I mean, that's also on the scheme and the offense there in the Chargers. I mean, Herbert wasn't the best quarterback at times.
Maybe Josh Allen makes him explode.
I mean, Josh Allen made fucking Barefoot Hollins explode in the playoffs. So I mean,
He got Shakir paid. I mean, honestly, let's be honest. He got Shakir paid.
Shakir, he's got good hands. That dude can catch.
Okay, but what was he doing? What was he doing the goddamn couple years before this? He was the number 3 or 4 on the team.
Yeah, he worked his way up.
Yeah, because Diggs left and Davis left. I mean, easy when no competition.
Well,
anyways, Maxwell Harrison,
Dixon,
Kentucky,
he was bumps.
Kentucky corner.
What about Keon Coleman?
Draft stocks
Oh,
rising
Coleman.
after the combine. So
Fastest 40, right? Wasn't he?
I think so.
Yeah,
He was
I think
close
so,
to it.
Yeah, I think he was like a 4.2, 4, 5.
You know,
6.
teams love to look at the 40.
How big is he?
Oh, I got you, Luke. Don't worry.
How big is he?
5'11", 183.
5'11".
It says
Look,
Harrison
small.
boasts exceptional mirroring skills, making him a natural in coverage.
Little small.
I'm 5'11", but not 183.
Going against like bigger frame receivers. He'd probably struggle a little bit.
He also probably run a 4.25.
Yeah,
I think
For
Jamar
sure.
Chase or Justin Jefferson will give him a hard time.
Yeah.
They're giving pro corners a hard time. So I mean,
Well, yeah, that's true. They give every corner a hard time.
It's named the best receivers in football. And
yeah, they're giving
Well, I'm
everybody a hard
talking about
time.
like their frames. Like Jamar Chase is like a big ass receiver, kind of like that Julio Jones like type size.
I would say I feel like Julio was bigger.
Is he bigger?
I mean,
know.
at least he looks bigger. I mean, I think
He's
weight
probably
wise,
fatter.
he was heavier too.
Jamar Chase might be like.
And Julio ran like a
feel like-
4.48.
I think Chase has
too.
like a better reach.
Longer
I don't-
wingspan.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I've seen Julio make
We'll
some
have the
crazy
answers
catches.
next episode.
Next episode,
Break
yeah.
it down.
Mark,
Let's move
will
on
do
to-
some research.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase versus Julio Jones.
Yeah, I'm biased, so don't ask me. And so are you.
actually do the notes for us, Mark.
Yeah, I'm gonna do y'all's mock draft too. Let's go to the Super Bowl losers, the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, they did bring in a guy from the fucking 49ers at left tackle. Not a fan of it. They lost Joe Tooney. I mean, it looks like they're gonna move Kingsley to fucking guard. Right tackle's terrible. I mean, I wouldn't mind going D tackle here as well because you got Chris Jones getting old. Derek Carmen's a beast. He honestly is. He's shooting boards. But I'm going to go Donovan Jackson, a guard that transitioned to tackle. during the season for the Ohio State Buckeyes. The guy's a freak. He's what the Chiefs could use. He could play guard, play tackle, like I said. I believe you can get him at left guard to start off the season. And if the left tackle doesn't work, who they overpaid, and Juwan Taylor, who they overpaid last year or 2 years ago, whatever it was, you can move him out there as well. So I have the Super Bowl losers going offensive guard from Ohio State, Donovan Jackson.
I like it.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
mean, they need offensive line.
They do need offensive line.
If Super Bowl showed anything, they need offensive line.
We do need offensive line help.
So this pick right here is going to be Zabel again. I heard he's getting picked twice this draft.
Hey,
Oh.
before you do this, can you
He had taken way too early.
Can you filter your thing by Georgia players?
Well,
Like I know you
I'm
have
not taking
offense,
them.
defense.
Well, I mean, we can get there. So, like, we're looking at defense. So you got, is Alabama here still? Not many
We need
Georgia guys this
Georgia.
year.
We need
Not many
Georgia.
Georgia guys this year.
Or a player
Well,
that killed.
I'll take a
killed,
different natty.
Stop,
different natty
stop.
team.
Allegedly on that one. That's all allegations there. Let's not just throw the word murder out there. God forbid.
Yeah, allegedly,
Hey,
just
'cause
like
that-
Casey Anthony.
Because that guy right there, like growing up, lives about 20 minutes from Jake. So we don't need him fucking stalking Jake down. It's a big boy. I ain't stopping him.
I'm not taking not Sawyer.
No.
All right, scroll back up.
Scroll back up.
Yeah, so I think Howard Roseman's gonna do his thing, building through the trenches, either offensive line or defensive line here. I don't think there's a offensive lineman really worth taking at this pick, so I'm gonna go defensive line and go Kenneth Grant out of Michigan. Young stud, plays run and pass. He can do everything. He can take up two players. He'll be a great addition to like that rotation for the Eagles.
He's a perfect fit there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He'll rotate in with all the other defensive linemen from Georgia. He'll fit right in with all the Georgia players, being a Michigan player. So that'll be a fun locker room environment for them. Eagles lost a bunch on defense already. I think building up front is a good way to start off the draft for them.
And another good thing that Michigan had was Grant. I mean, him and Graham were great together, the two Gs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good pick. But look, when we corrected you yesterday, it actually was a perfect scenario. So, but no, great episode, guys. I mean,
besides the
draft
Bengals
board.
and the Rams picks, pretty good
Yeah,
picks.
It was a
Yeah,
solid
it
draft
was-
board,
Yeah,
honestly.
they'll all be wrong though.
well,
absolutely.
actually, so when we did our own mock drafts last year, for some reason I didn't write mine down. I could find it when we just go back to the episode. Luke, you and Chris each had 7 right last year.
Hell yeah, Luke.
At
I'm
32.
glad we shared notes.
To be honest, though, like that's like a lot of people don't even get
32.
that. Hey, a lot of people don't get that many, so it's good. Doc had 5, Jake and Alan had 3. I think I was at 4. if I'm not mistaken.
Jeez.
Out of how crazy that draft was, I'm surprised we got 7.
And the fact, Luke, that you got 7 right and you got picks 2 and 3 wrong because you flip flopped the quarterbacks, like that's actually that's pretty good. Like they were able to bounce back a little bit. Like I said, 7 to 10 is actually pretty good in the mock draft because you can't account for trades. Like there were some picks that we got right, but just not in the right order because teams traded back, but they did take that player. It's just we didn't count those.
Yeah,
Alan was really pissy about that.
I'll be lucky to get like 3 right in this draft.
When's Allen back?
He said he'll be here for the draft episode.
He's
I-
too busy getting.
I've
spoiled right
messaged
now.
the guy that's making our merchandise. Listening to Drake too, by the way.
He popped up on my TikTok feed. I'm like, what is this?
He was cheating on Drake the other night. He put Future and them on there. There's no Drake, but then the next day he posted Drake again. So
What's his name? It's like something Gaines or
Pain? I don't know.
I don't know.
Pain
Tommy
and
Gaines
Gain?
or something like that. What is
Y'all
his name?
shitty. That's okay.
Hey, well, we can't laugh at each other. Come on. Well, I remember I called him out when he was sending me when he was sending his leg video, like leg workouts.
Good
No,
episode, boys.
yeah, it's a great episode. We're gonna be live for this. Obviously, we're gonna be probably a couple more mock drafts start here and there. Maybe start basketball again with playoffs coming up. We have March Madness.
Warriors
Coming up.
in Denver right now.
Good luck to all your teams. Good luck to Maryland, Luke. I know you still claim them somewhat. And then Jake, good luck to the Gators too, man.
I watched them, so wouldn't know.
Just trying to give you. I have the Gators. Texas,
Texas make it?
we're in a play-in game. Technically made the field. We're one of the 14 teams, so we have to
North
beat
Carolina with the last
North Carolina.
team picked.
North
and
Carolina should
they're-
have gone in.
They're
Well, she
they're
make
guys that he's on a selection committee.
Yeah, so apparently he wasn't in
He's
there when
the
they
head guy.
Yeah, he wasn't in there when they discussed North Carolina. But like Pat
I'm
McAfee
sure.
said, was he in the fucking field or the room when they were talking about West Virginia, why they shouldn't be in over North Carolina?
Exactly.
So yeah, the West Virginia, I think athletic director is suing or something like that. Or he's
He is.
coming at him.
Not happy.
Yeah. UNC athletic director got some money though.
Oh yeah, he got money.
You got like $100K, right?
Yeah, he's
For
$100K for them making it, and technically the play-in is making it. It's one of the 68 teams now. The bracket itself won't start until Thursday for locking in, but it's gonna be good. I mean, it's gonna be fun. Jake, I think I have y'all in the Final Four, if I'm not mistaken. I have 3 1 seeds and a 2 seed.
About time Florida's competitive at something other than track.
Baseball and softball, they've been up and down, right, Chris?
Yeah.
No, they got that booty ate by fucking UCF.
Well, they're the one that ate the booty. I don't think their booty got ate. I think it'd be the other way.
Oh yeah. Whichever way's worse.
Unless UCF
happened to
boys
Florida.
like to eat the booty.
Hey, Chris,
don't know.
speaking of college baseball,
Like
how do
party.
you watch your games? Do you just stream it? Like, what's the channel?
ESPN Plus.
Okay.
You
I
have
think
YouTube TV, right?
Yeah, but Disney. I have Tony's Disney, and he has ESPN Plus on that.
Let's log into that.
Just sign into your ESPN. We'll talk after you close.
Yeah,
down.
I was gonna say big rivalry game, the future rivalry of college baseball, Texas LSU, Hook 'em Horns. We're taking that ass this week. We are.
Are you
We're
eating that
here.
ass or are you getting that ass ate?
They're eating our ass. We're winning, so the loser has to eat the ass.
Hey, they're gonna suck that Tiger dick.
Chris, you threw me off though when you said, "Yeah, first competition against the SEC." I was like, "Damn, we played an SEC team this year," and you're like, "Oh, well, first weekend." So I was like, "Oh God, I don't pay attention to this shit." But great episode, boys! Can't wait to do this. Like I said, April 24th, we will be live for another 4.5 hours plus episode for the draft. Watch along. Can't wait for that. Merchandise hopefully is coming on the way. I emailed or messaged the guy. Chris, you're the only one with one shirt, but can't wait for this. Can't wait. So this is All About the Balls podcast. Have a great rest of your St. Patrick's Day. See you when we see you. Not sure when the next episode is going to be. I'm Mark Davis. That's Luke
Repent
Rule.
and follow Christ Jesus.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, I'll leave that on here. So while I'm signing out, shout out to you, Kyle. This is Mark Davis, Luke Rule, Chris Meinhardt, Jake Winnekind, who covers half y'all screen. This is All About the Balls podcast. Have a good night.